Hi, this is Scott Dudley, and in this video we're going to take a look at how you can send all of your GA4 data over into BigQuery by setting up a connection between the two. And then once you've got all of that event information in BigQuery, you can do whatever you want with it, and it will store a record of every single event that happens on your website. So what you'll need to do first is go to admin down the bottom here. And then we scroll down under product links, and the third option is BigQuery links. Okay, so obviously we're going to click on link, and then it wants you to choose a BigQuery project. So it's worth mentioning here that you will need to have a Google Cloud account set up, and you will need to have a project set up inside of that Google Cloud account. So it's pretty straightforward to set up a Google Cloud account. And you also need to make sure that you have billing enabled as well. So once you've got the account set up, you've enabled the billing. If you haven't already got a project, then it's just a matter of clicking up the top here in this top left here in this drop down arrow, and then clicking on new project. Okay, and then you can just go through the process of adding a new project. So once you've got the account set up with the project, then you'll click on choose a BigQuery project, and it will give you all of the BigQuery projects that you have access to. Okay, so you just choose the one in here that you want to connect it with, and then click on confirm. And then you'll choose the data location. So this is just basically whatever location in here is the closest to where you live. In my particular case, it will be Australia Southeast 2. Then we click on next. It's got an option here to include advertising identifiers for mobile app streams. So obviously if you aren't running a mobile app, then you can just leave this. Or if you do have a mobile app and you want to include the advertising identifiers, you would check the box. And then underneath it's got the export type. It's got daily and streaming. So I recommend that you check both of these boxes, because if we have a look inside what it looks like in the Google Cloud, it will create a data set here. And then inside of that data set, it will have an events table and an events underscore intraday table. So basically what happens here with the intraday table, that is the current day, and GA4 will be constantly sending over information into this table and appending to the table. And then at the end of the day, once the day is completed, it will then transfer the file from the events intraday to the events table here. Okay, and then the events intraday will then start populating for the next day. So if we just have a quick look in here, events. So, and then if you click on the drop down arrow here, you can see all of the days that this has been added to this table. Okay, so the events intraday, it'll always be one. Sometimes it's got two in there, not exactly sure why it has two in there, but usually it'll just be one table, and in here it'll just keep populating information of the current day, and then once the current day is completed, it will be transferred over to the events table in here. So the reason why you want to have both of these checked, I did it once where it was just the daily and not the streaming, and I found in here that it didn't have the intraday table as well. It just had the events, and what was happening for some reason was it was missing some of the days, so it was a bit weird. So then once I came back here and I made sure that both of these were checked, then it was correctly adding the information to the intraday and then transferring it to the events, which is the way that it should be. So long story short, you want to have both of these checked. Then we click on next, and then it's just asking you to review the information that you put in. So make sure that it's the correct BigQuery project, make sure that the data location is correct, then the data configurations, the advertising identifiers for mobile app streams, and then the export types where I mentioned that you want to have daily and streaming. And once you're happy with all of that, you click on submit, and then you've got to wait roughly 24 hours before you see anything happen inside of BigQuery. And you should start to see, first of all, this events intraday table here populating, and then give it another day, you'll see that the events table here will start populating as well. It'll start moving each day the information from the intraday table into the events table here. So hopefully that was helpful. If you've got any more questions that you'd like me to answer, just let me know in the comments below.